The President, Muhammadu Buhari, has met with the 36 state governors. On his Twitter handle, the President said, "Today's meeting with the PDP and APC is not a political gathering, but a symbol of our unity and expression of the maturity of our democracy. Opposition does not mean hostility, enmity or antagonism. Democracy needs opposition, one which is vibrant but responsible." That much the President said. Data feeds are still coming through in one place simultaneously on all our social media platforms, channelstv.com and on youtube.com/channels, wherever you can find our videos too. You can follow us right now on m.channelstv.com and on Facebook. We've got all our platforms and social media covered. Also, the President has signed an extradition treaty with the United Arab Emirates, the UAE, as part of efforts to rid Nigeria of corruption. He also ratified 3 other agreements covering legal assistance in criminal, civil and commercial matters and extradition. President Buhari described the developments as an important step towards the delivery of the nation's anti-corruption and economic diversification vision. We're going to focus on that in just under 30 minutes. It's prime time in Lagos, and this is State of the Nation. Welcome everyone in Nigeria and the rest of the world. I am Gimba Umar and this is State of the Nation. Right behind me, data feeds are still coming through on our social media platforms in one place simultaneously. Be part of the show, tweet at Gimba Umar CTV and use the hashtag State of the Nation to air your thoughts. One of the cardinal points of the present administration is the fight against corruption, which it says must be done, failure of which corruption will kill Nigeria. Well, the President, shortly after returning to the country from London on medical leave, signed a treaty with the United Arab Emirates where it is believed that looted funds belonging to Nigeria are stashed. The Center for Anti-Corruption and Open Leadership, CACOL, has described as hugely commendable the signing of the extradition treaty with the United Arab Emirates, the UAE, and agreements with some other countries. Well, Malaki Ogunmadu, an anti-corruption advocate and lawyer, joins me in the studio. I want to thank you so much indeed for coming on the show at this time. At some point, we're also going to have the chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, the EFCC, Ibrahim Mago. He will join us from our Abuja studios at some point. Thank you, though, for coming on the show at this time. Though Mago himself was not visible at the signing ceremony with Mr. President, those treaties we saw, what is your views to that treaty at this point where Nigeria is trying to recover stolen assets that we have?
Well, I think I need to put it on record that the recent signing of those couple of treaties was a clear demonstration of where the administration of Buhari is headed. It also confirms and reaffirms the commitment of the government to continually expand the frontiers of that particular agenda of this government. And I like to believe that such efforts, in addition to the existing legal instruments, particularly the extant laws dealing with anti-corruption as it affects other countries of the nation, will reinvigorate and add fillip to the fight against corruption. I am glad to hear that you have the acting chairman, Mr. Magu, on the other side of the divide. I think he's better positioned to answer why he was not there. I recognize the preeminence of his position and the zeal and zest with which he has pursued the anti-corruption drive. And I imagine that when he's on board, he'll be able to give credible reasons, factual reasons why he wasn't there. But by and large, we are satisfied. It seems to very clearly the moves of the president soon after resumption, no less the gathering of all political state actors, gives some measure of hope, and that hope must continually be there. It is immaterial whether the events of the recent past has subjected our hopes against hopes. But you could see the body language that suggests that this is where we're headed, and we need to carefully monitor that.
Okay, let's bring in Debo Denirong. He's the Executive Chairman, Center for Anti-Corruption and Open Leadership, CACOL. I want to thank you so much indeed for coming on State of the Nation at all as well. What's your own impression? You've written extensively about this treaty that's been signed by Mr. President in the fight against corruption on the one hand, and also trying to recover some of the funds that we have lost to looters in this country, especially stashed away in Dubai, we understand, and the UAE. What's your impression about how far this is going to take Nigeria's war on corruption?
Thank you very much. It is better late than never, because before now, we thought that one of those things, the very first thing that the present administration would do would be to sign such treaties. And if the other countries are reluctant, they will have persuaded them to go into the treaty with Nigeria, because first, there have been several billions of dollars that have not been accounted for by those that are given the opportunity to manage such monies on behalf of Nigeria. And most of these monies were laundered out of Nigeria into countries where we do not have such mutual legal assistance treaty with which we could have requested for the repatriation of the money and prosecution of the looters. And that it has come now is a way by which the administration seems to be reinvigorating the fight against corruption. And that is fulfilling their promise that they're going to strengthen the anti-corruption agency and ensure that no corrupt person, no corrupt leader, goes cost-free. We are happy that the treaty is signed after all, especially the